resolve valuation disputes and potential errors caused by the publican AI system at the ports.
At 8:30 p.m., we'll bring you Prime Sports.
Adriana Stars beat Gold Stars to set up a twist in the Ghana Premier League title race.
We are JoyNews. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism.
A good time to take a seat and please be our guest.
Water security in the Ashanti region is undergoing strain. Two key treatment plants supplying Kumasi are slowly being choked by silt and plastic waste. At Owabi, 75% of the facility is already clogged, while Barakese has lost about 40% of its capacity. Well, the Ghana Water Limited says it is racing against time to secure funds for urgent dredging from the Finance Ministry. Without swift action, thousands of homes could soon face severe water shortages as pressure on the system deepens. Emmanuel Kweko reports.
The Owabi treatment plant supplies potable water to thousands of homes in the greater Kumasi metropolis, processing about 3 million gallons of water daily. But the water resource feeding the facility in recent times is suffocating with heavy plastic pollution and fine sand particles. The once crystal clear water resource is now a pale shadow of its former self, turning into dirty and milky mixture. The poor state of the water resource has compelled the Ghana Water Limited to task workers to regularly clean up the waste. Chief Manager at the Ashanti production region of the company, Dr. Hansen Mensah Akute, is worried.
With Owabi, it's almost about 75% silted. And that is even more dangerous or serious because the volume that is now left on the surface of the reservoir is just small. And this cannot take us even to a year if there's a serious climate variability in terms of our operations.
At the Barakese Dam, although the water appears clearer, it is heavily choked with sand, drastically reducing its water holding capacity. The water company attributes the recent development to fast encroachment on the banks of the water resource, including settlements and farming activities. Management warns that without an immediate intervention, thousands of homes that depend on the two dams could crumble for potable drinking water in the coming years.
Currently, it's about 40% silted, and the water available is not adequate enough. If there's any climate variability change, we are going to be in crisis. So there's a need for us to dredge the Barakese as immediate as possible to increase the storage capacity of our plants. If not, in the next 2-3 years, if there's a serious climate change of dryness or drought, it's possible the whole Kumasi will be out of water.
During a working visit to the site, Managing Director of the Ghana Water Limited, Adam Mutawakilu, bemoaned the state of the facility.
If you look at the dam at Barakese, they have a gauge down, the deep, the middle, and the top. As we speak, we can't use the deep one. That way we can't extract water from the deeper part of the dam because of the siltation. At least there is revenue item to the dredging. And based on that, we have requested for commitment authorization from the Minister of Finance. It is my hope that it will be approved on time so that we can kickstart the dredging, because once it starts raining, it becomes difficult.
Meanwhile, a special national security task force is expected around the water body to safeguard them from any encroachment. For JoyNews, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
Well, Emmanuel Bright-Kweku joins us live on JoyNews Prime with more. Emmanuel, paint a picture for me. What's the current water situation in Greater Kumasi?
All right, so firstly, when it comes to the Greater Kumasi metropolis, in fact, for the past few weeks now, we have been experiencing some erratic water supply in the region. That's because of the current situation at the Owabi and Barakese treatment plant. In fact, yesterday, aside from the filtration the siltation of this particular facility, they explained that the power fluctuations is also one that is really affecting them. In fact, they noted that some 959,000 cubic meters of water was lost in March alone. And so because of that, they're unable to meet their demands in the Ashanti region. And they explained that as a result of what is happening currently at the water treatment plant, they have been forced to ration the water to a majority of the vast majority of homes in the greater Kumasi metropolis. And so for that, they are unable to meet the demands. And you find a lot of people in the past few weeks, you've seen a lot of people actually looking for alternative water sources in the Ashanti region. And so you see people with gallons moving from for underground sources of water, some also depending on other means of water to actually go about their daily chores in the region. And so for the Ashanti region, it's a bit of rationing in terms of the water supply here in the region.
And have they deployed the task force yet that would supervise the area and ensure that individuals do not dump filth in the dam?
Oh, so yesterday, that's when we met the managing director. He was actually on a tour to the facility, and he explained that the Ghana Water Limited is going to collaborate with the Ghana Navy and also the national security to provide protection to safeguard this water body, that's the Owabe and also the Barikesi Dam. And so we are hoping that in the coming days, weeks or months, we should expect some security around this particular facility. And so I must say that yesterday when I went to the scene, there was one that I would say was really unhygienic because for some years ago, I went to the facility. In fact, we've had a series of reports from my colleagues in the newsroom, and they tell me that this is not the state of the Owabe they saw some few years ago. And myself particularly seeing that it really struck me that the Owabe is actually being polluted this much. They're having a lot of plastic and debris resting or suffocating this particular water facility or water resource in the Ashanti region. And so it's really dire. The situation there is dire, and they are hoping that, and the management of Ghana Water is hoping that something urgently could be done. They explained that they were going to trigger a commitment authorization from the Ministry of Finance to actually begin dredging now, because if they do not do so, as they said, 2 years from now, Kumasi will not have water.
Thank you so much, Bright. Away from that.
Well, let's explore this a bit further. Dr. Hansen Mensah-Kweta is the Ashanti Regional Chief Manager of the Ghana Water Limited. Grateful for your time here on JoyNews Prime. You are warning of a possible water crisis within 2 years. So the question is, how close are we really to that breaking point?
Thank you. Good evening to your listeners. Really, what we are saying is that the Barikesi Dam, the water level is about 40%. And there's a need for us to dredge. Importantly, because the volume that the reservoir holds, though it shows as if it is enough, but most of them spills over the dam because of the construction and the type of dam we have over there. And we are seeing that the holding capacity of the dam has now reduced drastically. And if you look at the withdrawal rates per the volume available, it can take us just within 1 year. Therefore, if you're not able to increase the volume by that much, and there's an increase in droughts or serious climate variability, what is happening is that we are not going to even have enough volume for us to even abstract and treat. And when you get to that point, it means we can't even serve the people of Kumasi to have adequate potable water to drink. And we think it's time we do the dredging now to increase the holding capacity of the reservoir so that we can have enough volume for a longer time of year, so that in case there's a problem, we can still serve until we expect some rains to come and let our people get water to drink. Thank you.
Beyond the dredging, what immediate steps should be taken to at least prevent this from happening?
Right. No, what we are doing now basically is that we're trying to reduce the rate of siltation that is coming to the dam, especially at the catchment zone. Many encroachers have seriously deforested all the plants we have at the catchment points. The place is now occupied with a lot of buildup, degradations, and is leading or loading most of the riverbed with silt. And as the bed silt level increases, what it means is that the volume of water even at the catchment zone is rather even reducing. So the intention is that you want to prohibit everybody from actually encroaching on the catchment zone, wearing them off, stopping all activities as we always do critically, and we ensure that saturation is ceased so that we can even maintain what we have until we drench. That's what we are doing now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hansen Akwete.
The crisis is not limited to the Ashanti region. In Tamale, the situation is even more severe, with residents struggling daily to access water. For many, it has become a constant search for something as basic as clean water. Northern Regional Correspondent Martina Bugri has been speaking to some affected residents.
Community where I stay, where I come from, within Tamale, it could take you about a month, close to 2 months, without a single drop of water from our taps. And it has been very dangerous. In fact, has posed a serious threat to our lives if where we get water from. Mostly we resort to these gallon waters that are delivered by these motorcade drivers. Sometimes you don't know the source of the water, but you have to take it because of the crisis we are facing.
The water situation in northern region here is very, very heart appalling, because the area which I am, that is Wurishe, I think they can lock the taps for like weeks, months without a drop of water, and residents are complaining bitterly. Like they'll always say, water is life, and how do we survive if we don't have water? So we are calling on stakeholders, the government and the Ghana Water Company, to come to our aid.
Especially during dry seasons like this, people had to struggle to share this very water that all of us wouldn't even boast that you can use to flush your own toilets, just so they can be able to take care of other things within the household. Children are suffering to get water to bath and go to schools. Even women to cook and wash becomes an issue.
Away from water issues, tonight the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference is up in arms against President John Dramani Mahama over his comment that the anti-LGBTQ bill is not a priority, arguing that the government reasoning is quote-unquote unsound. President Mahama at the World Affairs Council a few weeks ago stated that the passage of the anti-LGBTQ bill and the conversations around it are not the most important issues that face the nation. His reason was that Ghana is still grappling with provision of basic needs. He repeated this point during his interaction with the civil society organizations on 30th of March this year.
Regarding LGBTQ plus issues, it remains a highly emotive and sensitive issue, even in the most advanced liberal democracies. I explained during my recent engagement with the World Affairs Council that it's not the most important issue we face as a nation. We're still grappling with the provisions of basic needs of education, healthcare, jobs, food, clothing, and shelter. Nevertheless, the private members' bill introduced in Parliament has sparked a complex and sensitive national conversation. Our position is guided by our Constitution, respect for human rights and dignity of all persons, and the need to preserve social cohesion. While there are strong and differing views within our society, we believe that these issues must be addressed through democratic processes, our core values, dialogue, and the rule of law. I'm also mindful of reactions from our international partners, including the recent developments such as Lincoln University's withdrawal of their honorary doctorate. These developments underscore the importance of continued engagement and mutual respect, and of situating our national decisions within our constitutional and cultural context. Ghana will continue to uphold its democratic values while engaging constructively with the international community.
In defending the president's comment, the Minister for Government Communication, Felix Kwakye-Ofosu, insisted that the issue does not rank among the top concerns of ordinary Ghanaians.
Is that bill a number one priority of every Ghanaian? It is not. It does not. That it is not something that will affect when the time comes. That is what the president said. The president spoke with Pontius and Calony. You have the tape of the president when he went to Philadelphia. Indeed, that is the place where he made that statement. In his interactions with the CSOs, he only referenced that statement he had made. That there were another partners continue to have pressure for this to be done. And he says that as a country, the things that matter the most are the issues that affect the well-being of the Ghanaian. And how does the president saying this mean that LGBTQ is not important? Which president swears an oath to become president, and the thing that matters to him the most is LGBT? Is it not about the welfare of ordinary people? How to make sure that education is properly financed? How to make sure that health is properly financed? How to deliver good roads? How to ensure that security is top-notch? How to ensure that electricity, water, job creation for the teeny youth who are unemployed? How can everybody see that these matters are not important? And that if the president says these are his priorities, then he has to treat anybody.
Well, the Catholic Bishops' Conference has issued a strongly worded statement today. And my colleague, Gemma Pia, joins me via Zoom with details of what that statement really is. Gemma, what are their concerns?
Well, Carlos, the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference said the tone of this press release is not happy about the statements made by President John Mahama and his party Fostina regarding whether or not it's the priority of the government or the country as a whole to be focusing on LGBT issues and not economic or economic issues. Now, in the press statement, let me quote this, it says that even if intended to prioritize, I think the statements by these two were intended to prioritize socio-economic concerns, such descriptions risk conveying that certain moral questions may be set aside as inconsequential. It goes ahead to say that nations do not live by bread alone. I'm sure many Christians can relate to this particular quote from the Bible. They are sustained also by the invisible architecture of values. So they say that they are not entirely against or they're not refused to admit that there are some issues, socioeconomic issues that we need to look at as a country. In fact, they have been advocating for promoting equity, opportunity, and human development, and that there are gaps in our education, in health, and all the socioeconomic challenges the country is faced with. But we should not separate that from values or ethics that they put in. They say that according to empirical research across contexts, it shows that stable family structures correlate with improved educational outcomes. So when the family is there, it contributes to improved educational outcomes and reduced crime rates. So there is a need for us to look at both values and socioeconomic success and not focus on just one. The Catholic Bishop Conference also reaffirmed two principles here. Now, first is the respect of dignity of every person. You do know, Carlos, that there have been several reports of people who have been reported to have engaged in LGBTQ activities. They've been discriminated against, they have been abused, and some violence acts meted out to them. They are against all these acts of violence against these people. They say it is wrong. We should not condone it. But so look at the legitimate responsibility of society to uphold and protect the institution of family. And they say that is founded upon the union of a man and a woman.
Thank you so much. Gemma Pia is our colleague in the JoyNews room.
Well, let me bring in now the Director for Governance, Justice and Peace at the Ghana Catholic Bishop Conference, Reverend Father Michael Kweku. We appreciate your time here on JoyNews Prime. From your statement, you're clearly not happy with the posture of government. What's your next line of action?
Well, I think that it is first and foremost important to articulate this debate in the necessary and climate of a healthy and a respectful one. The point of the bishops is not to wage war on government, because it does very little to help anyone. The point of the bishops is to correct a perception. The perception that socio-economic concerns somehow trump the value system and the moral fabric of society. So the bishops definitely are against a situation where we are articulating a this or that attitude towards morality and development and education and economics and everything else. It is this and so because morality builds nation. Values engender a certain attitude towards life development. So even if well intended, the optics are not good to appear that somehow, because we are prioritizing economic concerns, then moral values or the value systems of our society, a backseat. That is what the bishops won't accept, because that is what the bishops believe that society would not accept. Because you see, this falls past the collective assumption. The people, what makes the people is not just food. Of course, it is food, it is school, but also it is values. So, to speak in such a way, even if unintended, to appear that economic and social needs somehow automatically paying attention to them automatically mean putting the moral fiber or moral of society to a certain tier is a dangerous narrative that the bishops want to guard against.
And indeed, you've told us that you will not accept this posture of government because clearly you have high expectations of this administration. What then would be your next line of action?
I am unable to say right now what the next line of action is, but I know that the bishops are known to want dialogue, to engage government, to engage all stakeholders. So I am sure that the bishops will use every arsenal in their quiver for productive conversation and the necessary pressure to advocate for what they believe will augur well for the good of society, for its development and for its.
We seem to have lost him. Thank you so much, Rev, for your time. Point well noted.
Well, tonight, the Fisheries Commission has allayed fears over possible contamination of fish on the Ghanaian market following the discovery of a swarm of dead fish at the Tama shipyard. Greater Accra Regional Director of the Commission, Matilda Akrachele Ajakame, claims that fishmongers retrieved and sold some of the dead fish to the public are unfounded. There's more in the following report.
Matilda clarified that it's a restricted zone and officers from the Food and Drugs Authority acted swiftly to contain the situation and supervise the safe disposal of the decomposing fish.
It's a very restricted area. You cannot go there. Do you understand? And as at Monday, the fish were there. I was there personally on Tuesday. They were still there when I took my sample. Then the FDA came to supervise the safe discharge, the safe disposal of it. So the situation has been contained. There are no fish of that type in the market.
The Ghana Health Service, in a statement, noted that the development poses a potential threat to public health, particularly if the fish enter the food chain. The incident, it says, raises immediate concern due to the possibility of unlawful harvesting, consumption and distribution of dead fish, which could pose significant health risk to the public. The service says it will continue to monitor developments while awaiting laboratory results to determine the exact cause of the incident. The Deputy Chief Executive Officer in charge of the Food Division at the Food and Drugs Authority, Roderick Dade Eje, urges the public to avoid buying or selling fresh fish from the area and instead opt for frozen alternatives.
The authority is to, on the occasion that you don't know the cause of death and to protect the environment, to stay safe, do not purchase search if somebody was supposed to offer something like that to you. We are saying that rather the fish that is in the cold stores that normally is being sold, that is the one that you should patronize. If anybody is offering you any fish at this time something kind of fresh as at now, and it's within the environs that we have also demarcated. Please, buyer beware.
Meanwhile, some fishmongers at the Tema shipyard have been reacting to the development.
I'm aware of it. This morning I find out. But it's not true. What they are saying is not true. We don't sell dead fish here. We sell only fresh fish, not dead fish. And our fishermen bring us fresh, nothing else. We don't sell dead fish. And we don't sell coastal fish too. So what they are saying, we don't agree about it. We don't agree about that. We are not selling dead fish. We are selling fresh fish. So I think they want to spoil our business for us.
Authorities insist the situation is under control, but are urging the public to remain vigilant as investigations continue into what could become a significant public health concern.
Well, while agencies including the Food and Drugs Authority and the Fisheries Commission have taken samples for testing, the cause of the mass fish death remain unknown. And so do the full implications if any of these fish were consumed. To help us understand the potential health risk, we've been joined by a public health expert, Dr. Banda Khalifa, who is a global health strategist and a member of the WHO's Technical Advisory Group. Grateful for your time here, sir. From a public health standpoint, what happens when people consume fish that are already decomposing at this level? Kindly unmute so we can hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me. I think the key public health message here is relatively simple. Fish in this state of decomposition should be considered unsafe for human consumption. And from the public health standpoint, I think the immediate concern is an acute foodborne illness from severe bacterial contamination and also toxic byproduct of decomposition. The early symptoms that people should perhaps experience or would expect is normal, like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, but especially in vulnerable groups, that illness can become much more serious. The longer-term risk, though, depends on the reason why the fish died. If this is purely spoilage, then it's mainly an acute food safety emergency. If testing later shows chemical contamination or marine toxins, then the health risk could be much broader.
From a public health point of view, how should we address the issue, to ensure that it doesn't go beyond the borders of Tema?
Yeah, so from the media release and FDA's reports, what I've gathered is that they were on ground, taking samples from the fish and also from the water bodies. So it will be very important to kind of monitor the situation, do some sort of surveillance in the market, track the food chain, and make sure that community communication is really at par.
Thank you so much, Dr. Banda Khalifa, for speaking to us here on JoyNews Prime. You're still watching JoyNews Prime. I am Carlos Calony.
Please stay with us.
Charlie, what number? The malaria really knocked you down, eh?
Charlie, no joke. Fever, headache, vomiting, loss of appetite. I couldn't even eat my usual fufu.
You and your fufu. But I hope you got tested before the malaria treatment.
Yes, I did. And thanks to Malatu, I kicked out malaria one time.
When malaria strikes, take Malatu, containing artemether and lumefantrine. Comes in tablets and suspension for effective treatment of malaria.
Great to have you back.
Thank you. No problem.
Malatu is suitable for adults and children. Manufactured and distributed by NS Chemist Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Strong and refined, the skincare you deserve. Dream.
It doesn't take much to protect what we love. Sometimes it begins with prevention. Care is not always loud. It is attention, caution, and doing small things right.
Fire safety starts with me, being careful every day.
Good Conduct, Great Life is brought to you by
Indomie.
Tastes great.
More Kivo inside, more to share. Kivo Gari Soaking Mix, taste of Ghana.
Hey, what's up?
Life. It's moving so fast. Yesterday I was in class 4. Today I'm almost in JHS. My shoes don't fit me anymore. My voice is deeper. I was watching cartoons, but now they say I'm too old for that.
The more things change, the more they'll stay the same. I still love you the same.
Come and sit that.
In a world that keeps changing, Calipo still keeps making sweet memories.
I still love it.
Dad, I told you to have a sip not to finish it.
Calipo food juice drink, making sweet memories. This advert is FDA approved.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you banked like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Putting on just the fabric isn't really enough. You have to put on your confidence. I chose this Printex fabric because it symbolizes hope and success because of the color and the texture.
Printex. Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number 1, let's bring Baby Girl! Let's bring... You did it for you.
Cut! Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes. If you want quality, this be where you belong. Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it they carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it they make water they flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.
Discover Willow Lane in Sakumono, one of Ghana's most prime community. These expertly designed 4-bedroom homes feature a private elevator, 4 ensuite bedrooms, private balconies, walk-in closets, and a gourmet kitchen and a maid's quarters. Perfect for families, executives, investors, and retirees. Our community offers a swimming pool, playground, and 3-tier security for your peace of mind. Experience the ultimate in comfort, convenience, and community here at Willow Lane, Sakumon. Visit waylead.org or call 0240-111119 or 0308-040500 to book your tour today. Waylead, your trusted home builder.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us.
To other stories now, the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council is moving to clear unauthorized garages across the region. Some vehicle dealers are said to have taken over government lands, affecting city planning and beautification. The council now wants to relocate them into a planned car mall for proper organization. Naya Ojima reports.
The decision to construct a car mall was proposed by the Urban Roads Department and accepted by the Regional Coordinating Council. The plan will begin with the construction of the mall to accommodate the garages, after which unauthorized garages will be evacuated. Dr. Frank Amwakohene is Ashanti Region Minister.
We came to meet the spaces at the Sofoline interchange taken over by filth. We cleared it and the garages sprang up immediately. It can't be allowed to continue. The Urban Roads Department has proposed that we open a car mall for all those interested in trading cars. This will allow us to start clearing all the garages at unapproved spaces.
Various intersection and vantage points in Kumasi have become known for garages. A recent attempt to evacuate garages along the Ahojo-Santasi route to pave way for the road expansion resulted in misunderstandings between city authorities and garage owners. According to the minister, the restoration of Kumasi as the garden city will be achieved gradually. He called for support for the plans being rolled out.
We believe so much, sir. Rome was not built overnight. The church and the garden city,
Rome was not built in a day. If we want to restore the garden city, we can do so if we start today. If Nananum realize that we have begun evacuating the garages, they will know we are making progress.
For JoyNews, Nana Ojima, Kumasi.
Well, frustration and anger boiled over earlier today as some youth in the Bolgatanga East District in the Upper East region blocked the Bolgatanga-Boko Highway, demanding urgent government intervention to fix a stretch of road they say has been in a deplorable state for years. The stretch forms part of the Bolgatanga-Boko-Polmako Road project, which has stalled, leaving commuters to deal with poor road conditions. The protest led to significant traffic congestion, with demonstrators insisting they would not leave until their concerns were addressed. There's more in the following report.
The demonstration caused heavy traffic congestion as the demonstrators insisted their action was necessary to draw attention to the deplorable nature of the road and the need for urgent government intervention. Convener of the group, Gebard Anana, explains that the action had become necessary after years of neglect.
Many are dying. The dust is too much. That is the reason we are here, to plead with the government, to plead with our MPs, all MPs that pass through this vulgar road, to come and see into it. They should come and work on the road so that it will help us. A lot of accidents. Last week an old lady died here. And last 2 weeks, 2 men crashed here and one of them died. One is in Tamale Hospital.
Speaking to JoyNews, some of the youth cited frequent road accidents and what they describe as government lack of response as key reasons for the demonstration.
A lot of accidents have been happening here. Even my brother died here just last month.
Burger East, we deserve better. We have human beings living in Burger East. We are voting. Why? Our leaders, why?
Now I'm told this road is not even part of the big push. It's not part of it. How can a big push project, a whole 11 MPs in the Upper East region pass through this road? And all the MPs, the 11 MPs cannot influence for them to come and do this road.
After holding traffic for over an hour, the youth agreed to disperse following engagement with the Bolgatanga police, who assured them their petition would be forwarded to the Upper East Regional Minister. They, however, warned of a more intensified demonstration if no action is taken within a week. Albert Soros reports, read to you.
Away from that, for months, nights in Techiman forced people indoors earlier than they wanted. Darkness took over the streets, leaving residents uneasy, drivers cautious, and commuters exposed to crime. Now that is beginning to change as Member of Parliament for the area, Martin Agyeman-Rawlings, installs street lights across the constituency. Bono East Regional Correspondent Anasabit has more in the following report.
Imagine stepping out of your home after sunset, not knowing if you'll make it back safely. For months, that has been the reality for thousands in the Techiman metropolis. Darkness has ruled the streets. Thieves have taken over. Accidents have multiplied, and fear has become a nightly companion. This lack of adequate streetlights has created a hunting ground for criminals in the area.
When there is dark at any place, these miscreants use that opportunity to be hiding there, doing unnecessary things by attacking people, seizing their properties. In fact, honestly, darkness is causing insecurity a lot.
Many riders and drivers cannot see the potholes, a situation that leads to many accidents in some areas.
Again, sometimes our road network, the challenges when you are even walking through the dark and you don't know there's a pothole, before you realize you are falling, you could break your leg.
But today, hope has arrived. The Member of Parliament for Techiman South, Martin Agyeman-Rawlings, has drawn a line in the sand against the darkness. He has donated hundreds of streetlights to all 32 assembly members in the metropolis.
And so this is intended to tackle the specific areas where these challenges are. It's not just this. We're also working with the police to follow up in some communities where there's a lot of criminal activities that are happening.
The gratitude from the ground is palpable. After months of lamenting, these local leaders finally have a tool to fight back.
The support the MP has given us today is going to support the other areas where there is darkness, so that places to be lighted. So it's a good support the MP has given to us, and we thank him very much.
All what we are saying is that the assembly members together, we say we appreciate his effort. Oliver asks for more.
Tonight, Techiman begins to reclaim its night. The thieves may still lurk, but they will no longer own the shadows. With hundreds of lights ready to be mounted and a leader who paid the full cost, this metropolis is finally turning darkness into dawn. Anasabit, JoyNews, Techiman.
Well, for decades, communities along the Todome-Germany stretch have lived with a road that turned short journeys into painful hour-long struggles. Pregnant women and the sick risk their lives to seek care. Today, that story is changing. Residents now reach the market in under 30 minutes as construction reshapes their daily lives. There's more in the following report.
We started this project last year, October. So probably we've been here for 6 months. The contract period is for 24 months and 2027. That's when we are supposed to complete the project. When we look at the scope of the work, including site clearing, concrete works, primary seal and seal, and then we have miscellaneous, that is no line marking. But currently what we have done, as at this moment, what we have done is we've done some culverts and the drainage that we have in the contract, for now it has been exhausted. So all the concrete work that we are doing for now is view that we are working on. But currently, what is going on, we have also done the earthworks, what we call the filling. So what we are waiting for now, we are addressing the road and we are compacting it, making it accessible so that we can put our sub-base and base on it. So now we are preparing the surface for our sub-base. So when you look at things, our tippers are also on ground now. We are hauling 040 from Accra. Coming, as I'm talking, our tippers are on their way, even going. They brought their first train this morning, so they are on their way, going to Accra to bring the 040.
So apparently we are around about 48% complete now.
The contractor in charge, the Sanam company, they are doing a very good job. And the community is also happy that the promise that our president has given, that when he won, our community will also benefit from good roads and water. We are seeing good signs of it. So the community is grateful and wish the contractor and the party, the president and the road ministers well in their.
Away from that, a group of traditional priests and priestesses in the Gardangbe area today marched to the Jubilee House demanding urgent presidential intervention in the McDan Aviation dispute with the Ghana Airport Company Limited, warning the handling of the issue risks sending a troubling signal to the investment community. In a petition to the president, the group is calling for an independent and transparent review of the revocation of McDan Aviation's licenses at Terminal 1 of the Accra International Airport.
It is therefore our considered view that his business interest, particularly one of such national significance, ought not to be exposed to circumstances that may undermine its stability without the clearest demonstration of fairness, due process, and good faith. We are further concerned by the growing perception that matters of national development are increasingly subjected to political coloration. Your Excellency, this perception, whether founded or unfounded, has the potential to erode public confidence and discourage indigenous entrepreneurs from making bold investments in our country. Ghana must remain a nation where success is protected, not questioned, where initiative is encouraged, not impeded, and where those who commit their resources to national development are assured of institutional support rather than uncertainty.
Well, Showbiz is up next, and you know Becky Beggs should have been here. She's not here, but she caught up with an artist and had a great interview. Chami Kwame, take a listen.
Welcome to Joy News Prime. This is the entertainment segment here. No, it's actually Showbiz right here. Today we're outside and we're doing a little Friday hangout. It's different, it's refreshing. And today on Friday hangout on Joy News Prime, we have the one and only Agyeman Kwame, the made in Ghana man. And the first thing I really want to find out, what's the biggest news in entertainment?
The biggest news in entertainment today is that Agyeman Kwame is turning 50 on Friday. So Saturday, he's throwing a concert to raise money to build a pediatric emergency unit at Menchia Hospital. And because of that, he went to see Otumfuo Osei the second in Nyamekessie to go and get his permission to do it. And then that's been trending. And also, Agyeman Kwame released a new single today off his new up-and-coming album called
There's an
Gentle
upcoming album
called Gentle Rebel. When he released a single today called Clap. And so that is what is happening. So currently, Agyeman Kwame is trending #2 on Twitter as we speak right now.
Let me take it step by step. Let's talk about the visit to Otumfuo.
Yes.
How did that go?
Okay, so...
Did you finally get the blessings?
Yes, as you can see in this very picture that you are showing, Otumfuo put his hand on my... Yes, a forehead. on my forehead 3 times.
I said forehead too.
And then he blessed me. He said he blessed me and blessed. He blessed me 3 times. And they gave me the permission to go ahead to get the necessary support to build the pediatric. It was amazing. You know, his presence is just overwhelmingly calming and beautiful. So I was really, really happy to be in his presence. And then I was also happy to get his blessing to continue the project.
Secondly, let's talk about the album. Why? I mean, the last time we spoke, I wasn't thinking that you're going to release an album. Now you have an upcoming album, and there's a new single
on it. Yes. And the single is called Clap.
My friend just landed a dream job today. I'm gonna clap for him.
Clap?
Yes, so learn to clap for others. Because I realize that there's a lot of envy. You know, they say that jealousy is the last class you go to before you graduate to become a witch.
They say that?
That's what they say. So I think that there's a lot of jealousy and envy in the world. MPP versus NDC, Ashantis versus Volta, women versus men, children versus adults. Everybody is jealous of the other. And so I wanted to put out a song that will calm their nerves and lower egos and foster collaboration. And so I did a song and it's called Clap, and you're going to love it. And even if you see that your ex-boyfriend falls in love with a new man, you need to learn to clap for the man because he has taken your trouble.
But how is that possible? How do you plan to eradicate eventually, you know, the enviness and the jealousy that we are facing as a people, or as a nation, or, you know, as a world?
It's very simple. I know that the Peace Council, they have their own strategy to mitigate conflict in this country, and a lot of people, the churches, the mosques, the traditional people, education institutions, all of them continuously put out information and tactics to calm Ghana down. That is why Ghana is a very, very, very calm country. And as an artist, as a musician, my number one tool is the music. And so that is my contribution towards the peace that you're already enjoying in Ghana by making a song. And if the song becomes a hit, which obviously it will be, and 30 million people are singing, learn to clap for others. You know, what do you think will happen? Yes, eventually people will love to clap for people, and before you realize, we have lowered the level of jealousy and envy.
I'm looking forward to it.
Lift people up and make their hearts sing. He's spreading out the love, kindness is the new word. Clap it till my hand hits for a better world. Yo, clap your hands 3 times, 2 times, 1 time.
We're grateful for your time.
Thank you.
Have you been celebrated enough? I keep asking people, you know, this question, but your 50 years, we're celebrating 50 years of good life, of, you know, sweet guy. Look at you. And I'm wondering whether you feel, you know, celebrated enough.
Yeah. I think that I am one of the most celebrated artists in this whole country. When you come to my house, there are awards everywhere, under the bed, on the piano, on the desk. I have been celebrated so much in both academia, in policy, in development, in music, in arts and culture. I think that the way a Ghanaian artist is supposed to be celebrated is how I am celebrated.
Wow.
Sometimes when I pass through the airport or I pass through town, the way people come to me, people that I respect, they come to me, they want to take a picture with their families. I think I've been celebrated well enough.
And you make it so easy for us to celebrate you, and I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
But did you make any money before we go? Did you make any money whilst at it from, you know, your catalogs, and especially from the Made in Ghana song?
Oh, from the Made in Ghana song, not that much money, but it has repositioned my brand. It has sort of augmented Okyeame Kwame. It's a rapper brand to Okyeame Kwame, the Ghanaian brand. And I can tell you that I did it intentionally because I saw David Donto in his youth and how all of us, and how he made me feel Ghanaian. Whenever I heard the name David Donto, I felt Ghanaian. So even as a child, I was thinking that one day I'm going to be like this man. So I am sort of the modern version of David Donto. I want when people hear Okyeame Kwame, when they hear my voice, when they see me, on social media, I want them to think proud Ghanaian. And did I make money? Completely yes. That's what I do. I'm a musician. That's all I do. Every other thing that I do, teach, do music, sell boxer shorts, model, World Bank.
The boxer shorts?
Yes, I do.
How's the business going?
It's doing great. It's doing great. All that is possible because I make music and I'm able to pay school fees and sleep well. I think that music has been very good to me.
We're so grateful for your time. Happy birthday to you. Happy 50th birthday to you. The song Clap is out. That's the biggest news now.
Yes.
So let's keep clapping for each other. Let's keep clapping for Okyeame Kwame and clap for everybody you see around.
Well, interesting interaction Becky had there. And I'm looking forward to listening to that full track because I believe that's important to clap for people when they're doing well. Yeah, sure. But then some good news we're receiving is that the Artemis 2, we've been receiving footages.
A lot.
From space.
Exactly.
And, and as a space advocate, because I'll be going there very soon.
Okay.
Just take pictures and come back to the Earth. We're told that they landed 4 hours ago. Yes. They are to land in
the next
4 hours,
20 minutes.
20 minutes. So we're doing the countdown. I went ahead of myself because really I'm very excited.
Exactly.
And I'm looking forward to them landing. But there's still...
And they call the landing splashing, right? Yeah.
I just hope they land safely. If they don't, we'll send Carlos Calony to save them. But I understand that they're coming down at the speed of sound. And in fact, we try to do bring the story home. So if you're moving from Accra to Kumasi, it's roughly 25 seconds. That in terms of how fast they are coming. If you're moving from Accra to Kumasi, it's 25 seconds.
Yeah, then you're done.
And they need parachutes to actually slow them down, else they might.
So you get to a point where they jet off.
Of course.
Right? Is that it?
Yeah. So that they don't go up in flames and then we don't get to celebrate their hard work. But we're hoping that it goes on nicely for them. Of course. We're looking for, and that's the NASA headquarters. Of course. Very soon we'll be going there, the whole JoyNews team. We just want to go around and see how they're doing because Ghana we're representing.
Thank you so much. You're a NASA scientist now in JoyNews studio. Yeah. Grateful for your time here on JoyNews Prime. It's time for Prime Business, and Pius Kojo Baka will be here shortly. Bye-bye.
The big Easter sale is on at CompuGhana, where your gadgets get a second life. From now to the 12th of April, shop the well-stocked brands like Samsung, LG, TCL, and many others with up to 40% off. And CompuGhana is giving you more than big discounts. Spend 1,000 Ghana cedis and above, and you instantly enter into our Easter raffle draw. Stand the chance to win a 98 Smart HTV and more. Enjoy massive savings on TVs, smartphones, laptops, and home appliances across all CompuGhana branches nationwide. Experience this Easter season the CompuGhana way. Visit any CompuGhana showroom nationwide or shop online at www.compughana.com or call us on 0302-752020 or WhatsApp 0243-143-143 for more information. This promo is in partnership with NLA under the title.
Hi, it's me. The one you poke, sip, and hopefully love. I'm your small reminder that growing up doesn't mean growing out of me. Trends come and go, but you still reach for me. I'm not just a drink. I'm that little sip that reminds you life can still be sweet. Calipo fruit juice drink, making sweet memories. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, Charlie, what number? The malaria really knocked you down, eh?
Charlie, no joke. fever, headache, vomiting, loss of appetite. I couldn't even eat my usual fufu. You and your fufu.
But I hope you got tested before the malaria treatment.
Yes, I did. And thanks to Malatu, I kicked out malaria one time.
When malaria strikes, take Malatu, containing artemether and lumefantrine. Comes in tablets and suspension for effective treatment of malaria.
Great to have you back.
Thank you. No problem.
Malatu is suitable for adults and children. Manufactured and distributed by NS Chemist Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Turn your home and office design dreams into reality. Here at Lesh Fortune, interior design is our passion. Customized interior design solutions, top of the range products such as curtains and accessories, blinds and accessories, trendy for bespoke hotel, home and office furniture, top-notch space design services.
I'm the CEO of Builders Estates. When it comes to putting the final touch on all my building projects, I look no further than Lesh Fortune for all my interior decoration needs. They bring your ideas to life.
Turning your house into a home. It's more than just a service. You need beauty and elegance, and the expertise is very important. That's why I choose Lesh Fortune Limited, because they have experience.
Yes, indeed. With our many years of experience, we would excite you. So make that call now. Call us on 0244-265588 or 0302-811163. Lesh Fortune Limited.
Lesh Fortune Limited, unleashing luxury with perfection, one space at a time.
Lesh Fortune Limited.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Prime Business. I am Pius Kojobaka. The Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders is calling on the Ghana Revenue Authority to immediately outline measures to resolve valuation disputes and potential errors caused by the publican AI system, which has disrupted trade at the ports. Although the GRA has defended the system, citing increased revenue generation, stakeholders warn that the disruptions could undermine Ghana's trade facilitation framework and increase consumer prices. Eddie Akrong is the immediate past president of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders.
Several letters have been written. Let me give you a particular example, which is why I'm thinking this situation is a bit worrying. A friend of mine just puts in an appeal because what? The AI had picked the wrong classification, not value, the wrong classification, okay? And there are several stories about that. Some might, almost sound funny. So he puts in, and these are goods that he has cleared over and over for over 20 years. The same classification. This time, this thing churns out a wrong classification. So he appeals and says, no, look, this is the thing. This is how it is described. It is not this kind of medication. He gives all the attributes why it should remain in that particular classification. Guess what? The reply that came to him, and I'm going to read it to you. Now, this is a classification matter, but he says the system says, they say what? Declined. Assessed value found same as publican. Please. Do you get where I'm coming from? This? I'm not talking about value, but then you have sent me this. It's as if it's just an automated reply to you. Now, that is very worrying. Because for one who has asked for a classification appeal, why is he getting a response on what? On
and you think the GRA doesn't know about this error?
But it's in the system. These are letters that have been written live. You understand? How much would you buy a microwave? I mean, basically on the market now, a microwave is selling for about 900 Ghana cedis. So if the microwave is valued now, you have to pay 750 Ghana cedis for one particular microwave. Take a wild guess. How much did you buy it? Did you ship it? You understand? One last instance also I want to give you that we don't look at the other side, the other costs involved in the trade. The thing is, aside the duties, if we appeal, and these appeals are taking 2 weeks, 3 weeks, there are demurrage charges, there are rent charges, the truckers are charging you. Do you know what interest charges for? If you do not pay your duties within 4 days, the government charges you interest.
From the port, Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana, Duncan Amoah, is entreating government to cut the energy sector recovery levy and the road fund levy on petroleum products by half to ease the burden on consumers. His call follows government's decision to review some fuel-related taxes in the wake of tensions in the Middle East. Speaking to Joy Business, he argued that a targeted reduction in these levies would provide immediate relief at the pumps while maintaining sufficient revenue flows within the energy sector.
We are putting the paper together for the two ministries concerned. I may not want to preempt everything, but off the top of my head, the energy sector shortfall and recovery levy, which recent times came with a 1 cedi add-on to make it 1 cedi 95. If I had a decision to make, I'll take 50% off. And so instead of taking out the entire 1 cedi so that you don't have anything to procure light crude oil, you could do about half of it and ensure that whatever you took the previous month, this half can at least cushion something, right? So that you are not left empty. Again, we are also looking at the road fund levy. Government needs the money to build the road, but the people are also squeezed, and so we would think that maybe government can shave off half of that road fund, which is about 48%. So you would save about 24% on there. We are talking of the other bit about the special petroleum tax, which is simply government revenue that government uses for its budgetary planning. Don't take off everything. You can take a half of it off for the next 1 month, and then hope that whatever revenue that you are getting from your oil or petroleum liftings upstream, you can be able to balance, those numbers and still be able to stay within budget.
Chief Executive of the Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs Ghana, Sheriff Gali, is urging commercial banks to ease their lending criteria to improve access to financing for small businesses. His appeal follows an announcement by the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development to disburse significant funding to SMEs in Ghana this year. Speaking to Joy Business, Sheriff Gali stressed that more flexible credit assessment processes will be critical to ensuring businesses can access the funds.
We are looking at how the structure would be like. When I look at the whole story, I observe that they want to route the disbursement through participatory financial partners. That is to say, they give the money to commercial banks. That is where I only have a slight issue, because the decision to route it there through the commercial bank is technical, it's sound, but leveraging existing structures. But I think that we owe to ourselves to be honest about one thing. This model has been used before. The DBG has used the Development Bank of Ghana. Unfortunately, it has not been so successful because, you see, when the money goes to the commercial banks, they use that same procedures, the procedure they use to get SMEs to get the funding, and they take them through their credit rating or assessment procedure, and it becomes difficult for the SMEs that are targeted. So I think that EBIT would have to look at that. It has to really work on that. If this is actually for SME development, the participatory financial institutions should understand that they may have to, I'm not saying totally bring down the bar, but they may have to come out with assessment criteria that will benefit the local SMEs. Most importantly, SMEs owned by young people. Right. They do not have documentation that may have, but this is a very good call. It is at a point that we need it, and we hope that this will really come to pass.
Non-profit organizations have been urged to develop innovative ways of funding amidst current economic challenges that have led to cuts in funding. At a regional conference organized by United Way, a privately funded non-profit, board chair for the Ghana office, Walanya Uklu, highlighted the need for corporates to support sustainable action. Here's a report.
Funding cuts and shifting philanthropic priorities continue to hinder non-profit operations in the current global economic environment. Speaking at the United Way Africa Regional Conference, Walanyo Oklu, board chair for United Way Ghana, urged non-governmental agencies to adopt innovative funding methods to navigate these challenges.
Africa, we currently have 3 local United Ways in Nigeria, South Africa, and of course Ghana, the host country. The objective is to make sure that we are not working in silos, that we are synergized and delivering the same experience for both our funders and also our beneficiaries. With the new world that we live in, of course, funding has been cut, but for me, it is also an opportunity to develop personal capacity and also to learn from it and understand that if we do not help ourselves, one day when funding is cut and it's life-supporting funding, then we'll all die. So it's a pivot point, and we are pivoting in the right direction to make sure that we take charge of our own destiny.
Dr. Sonia Anderson, Executive Vice President for United Way Worldwide, emphasized the importance of developing the potential of young people in Africa through sustainable projects.
I would say that in Africa, the bulk of our focus is really on this category that we call youth opportunity, which is about education, and it's about developing young people to reach their fullest potential. Here in Ghana, just yesterday, we visited the Ebenezer Senior High School, where we saw a STEM project and an amazing library facility. So I think throughout the continent, we really do have projects that focus on all 4 of those areas, but we are really deeply committed to providing opportunities for the next generation of young people.
On her part, Kokwi Bully, head of strategy at Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, called for increased collaboration to achieve the sustainable development goals.
We have seen clear results. We've seen clear impact in the livelihoods of communities that they have worked in, and we thought, why not go with them? We started the journey with United Way about 6 years ago, and we continue to work with them and call on other corporate bodies to come together so that collectively we can create desired impact in the livelihoods of the communities in which we are present.
United Way operates in over 40 countries with a focus on education, health, and income generation.
In a move to combine lending with social protection, Opportunity International Savings and Loans is partnering with the National Health Insurance Authority to expand health coverage among informal sector workers. Here's more.
A bid to deepen financial inclusion and widen access to healthcare, Opportunity International Savings and Loans Company Limited has partnered with the National Insurance Authority under a Timan Crossroad Loan Scheme. The initiative, launched at a market in Accra, aims to reach about 600,000 clients with financial services while integrating free NHIS registration and renewal for beneficiaries.
Beyond providing financial services to our clients, let us provide them with health insurance that takes care of their health needs once they proceed to focus on their businesses.
Officials of the National Health Insurance Authority say the partnership is key to expand coverage across the country.
This partnership is not only advancing their interest in getting clients into the bank and guaranteeing their access.
Collaboration is very, very great. It's a very innovative one, and we hope that other financial institutions will also come on board, partner with NHIA or any other government social interventions to advance the cause for the country for Ghana.
The collaboration highlights growing private sector involvement in efforts to improve both financial inclusion and access to healthcare services nationwide.
Government has begun the rollout of 1 million coders program with the distribution of laptops to selected partner institutions. The initiative is aimed at equipping young Ghanaians with digital skills while creating pathways to employment in the tech space. Details in this report.
The Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations has taken a significant step towards advancing Ghana's digital transformation agenda. At a press conference in Accra, partner institutions received laptops to kickstart the training phase of the 1 million coders program. Speaking at the event, Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations, Samuel Nate George, revealed that 6,500 laptops have been deployed in the first phase of the program to support teaching and learning.
This is phase 1 of the rollout. In this phase 1, we're rolling out in 130 learning centers across the country. Now, for each of our learning centers, we're going to be deploying, for a start, 50 laptops that have been customized for the purposes of the 1 million coders. So it means that if you do the simple mathematics, today we'll be distributing approximately 6,500 laptops out of our current stock, which I've announced already is 20,000 laptops that we hold.
The minister emphasized that the initiative goes beyond training, assuring that the program is designed to create real job opportunities for beneficiaries in the digital economy.
We're going beyond just training you to making sure that we create an outlet for our graduates. And that's where the Ghana Digital Centers comes in. They run our innovation hubs. And so we're working with II Africa. We signed an MOU with an agency called II Africa that's agreed to take 100,000 of our graduates and place them in remote job and work.
He further gave the assurance that the ministry remains committed to delivering results, noting that they will not fail both government and citizens in the implementation of the program.
I can assure you that under the leadership currently at the ministry, we will not fail His Excellency the President and the people of Ghana. We are diligent and taking our time to ensure that this is done in a way that is going to benefit us. Our hope and aspiration is that within a year of rollout of today, our universities should be in a position where not just your ICT students, but literally all university students would have equipped you enough and to have the labs that will allow all university students take one course or the other.
The 1 million coders program is expected to equip young people with skills in areas such as software development, cybersecurity, and data analytics as part of efforts to reduce unemployment and position Ghana as a competitive player in the global digital space.
The John Agyeman Kufuor Foundation has inducted its 10th batch of Kufuor scholars, all graduating the 7th class as part of efforts to nurture a new generation of ethical leaders and aid in skills development. Here's more.
From its modest beginnings in 2016 with just 14 students, the Kufuor Scholars Program has grown significantly, enrolling a total of over 331 scholars, comprising 230 alumni and 101 active participants currently undergoing a rigorous 3-year leadership training program.
So bright. And I believe you are the agents that will definitely carry on with the probe, the search for Africa to identify itself to the rest of the world. So far, the identification of our continent has tended to be from outside onto Africa, and the identification hasn't been flattering at all. Former Prime Minister of some European country described our continent as like a scar on the conscience of humanity. Can you imagine?
In addition, the program has engaged over 5,000 associates across various university campuses nationwide.
You are challenged to be the best. And I always say that, so I was awarded the overall best student of K University College of Health Sciences, combined with over 20 plus leadership votes as a student, because we are trained to be leaders and be scholars. And it's not, I wasn't surprised when it came, because that is what we are taught as Kufuor scholars, to excel at all things.
They should expect change. Every Kufuor scholar lives to change. If you can't change something you don't like, change the way you think about it and act differently. So we are in to give change, to change the status quo, do the right thing and lead with integrity and accountability.
The Kufuor Scholars Program is a leadership coaching and mentoring initiative founded by former President John Agyeman Kufuor with the vision of nurturing a new generation of ethical and impactful leaders to drive Africa's development.
The Ninani Group has launched a structured DA Chum Junior Fellowship to tackle declining talent quality and build a sustainable pipeline for Ghana's marketing communications industry. Here's a report.
The Ninani Group says the fellowship is designed to move beyond recognition to deliberate talent development, opening opportunities to creatives across discipline, including writing, design, and strategy. Speaking at the launch, Chief Executive Joel E. Nete says participants will undergo a rigorous selection process and receive hand-on industry exposure to prepare them for opportunities across advertising, banking, telecoms, and other sectors.
We've also recognized as practitioners in the industry that there seems to be a certain lack of quality in terms of the talent pool. And so we figured, look, we can just stand back and complain about this is the quality is not good, this is the quality is not good. Or we can make a deliberate attempt at rectifying the situation or contributing to a change. Now, the difference between this fellowship and just a regular award scheme is that it's now deliberately opening up to everybody, not just one particular school, not just one particular faculty, but everybody who believes or are interested in a career within the marketing communications industry, especially the creatives.
Executive coach and keynote speaker Albert Okran says the initiative reflects the enduring legacy of former leader and mentor Daniel Ampeduchum Jr., rooted in mentorship and human capital development. He notes that investing in people through structured training is key to driving innovation, strengthening industry capacity, and supporting long-term growth.
Junior lives on because of the sheer number of people he mentored and impacted who now occupy senior positions across the marketing and marketing communications landscape in Ghana and beyond. The World Economic Forum, in its 2025 report on the world of work, stresses the need for investing in people as the key driver of economic growth and resilience. According to the report, investing in people's skills, health, and education is crucial for workplace resilience and adapting to global changes like AI.
Industry stakeholders say sustained investment in skills development and mentorship will be critical to building a competitive creative sector and ensuring long-term growth.
This is still Prime Business. Vice President of the Ghana Institute of Architects, Augustus Richardson, is urging stronger collaboration among stakeholders in the built environment to improve regulatory compliance and uphold higher standards in urban development to protect public safety. Details this report.
The Ghana Institute of Architects panel discussion was on the theme Navigating Urban Development and Regulatory Compliance, Lessons from the East Legon Flyover Controversy. The forum focused on strengthening regulatory enforcement, addressing systemic gaps, and improving interagency coordination to guide urban development. Vice President of the Institute, Augustus Richardson, emphasized the need for stronger collaboration among stakeholders in the built environment, stressing that higher standards must be upheld to safeguard the public.
I'm pushing that my fraternity of architects, together with the engineers who are represented, together with the planners, begin to go on the streets and take these things seriously. Because if we go around and we shout that this is not right, it will have to stop. I think that, so I'm saying government must do it. If government is not being able to do it because of party funders and people we are afraid to face, then I think that those of us, and I can also feel for my colleagues who work in the municipalities, that is his full-time work. Yeah. How is he going to, Fanti say, someone said that, if your hand is inside the crocodile's mouth, you can't hit its head. So the institutions, this is why Kwame Nkrumah was thinking about the institutions. The institutions are supposed to protect all of us. It's not individual, it's not personal. It's meant to be able to say this is wrong. For the longest time, my late mother stayed in East Legon. It was with worry that we observed. And when you look at the aerial maps over the years, like he said, you see one small building, the next, and then everything is being developed. What kind of country are we in? Are we waiting for a calamity?
Architect Victor Mensah urged district assemblies to strictly enforce existing regulations and prosecute individuals who flout standards in infrastructure development.
All the assemblies have powers to enforce development, orderly development. Right. You understand? So when you see one, you have to take action on it. He comes again, you take action again, somebody will learn a lesson. Right. And this is a no-go area. You understand? Yeah. But when it breaks down and we allow them to multiply, then it becomes a problem, because then, excuse me to say, for the MMDCs who are appointed politically, it becomes a challenge, because then you are going to deal with the same people who you go to every 4 years to vote for you. But if central government, with the equipment that the assemblies now have, orders that look, assemblies, we've given you the orders, move into action and clear all roads, for instance, open all roads, for instance, or maybe clear buildings that have been put in the waterway, and everybody does it, then you will see that something, the hand of the clock will move.
The event, dubbed Against the Wall, forms part of a broader initiative by the Ghana Institute of Architects to uphold professional standards and promote safer infrastructure development across the country.
Members of the Ghana Swan Timber Sellers Association are pushing for the simplification of documentation covering processed off-cut lumber from the market. According to them, the present order is cumbersome and difficult to follow, encouraging smuggling of processed off-cuts. Chairman Kwame Appiah-Bediako says a more flexible system will help government rake in the necessary revenue and reduce the difficulties in trading logs. Nana Agyeman joined the government's timber monitoring team tour of the Sokoban Wood Village and has filed this report. And that's it. Prime Business. I am Pius Kojobaka.
Off-cuts are remnants of processed timber that are mostly used for firewood, but presently it is the widely domestically traded logs after industry players devised means of processing them for markets. At the Sokoban Wood Village, the majority of wood sold there are processed off-cuts.
You see the machines that we use, simple machines that can transform these off-cuts into very good materials for the housing industry, for whatever.
To aid wood tracking and protection of the environment, felling of trees and their processes are well documented by the government. Log measurement and conveyance certificates cover timber to the sawmills for its processing. Either domestic or export certification are issued for onward trading. But the traders at the Sokoban Wood Village say getting documentation for the off-cuts purchased from the sawmills have been a challenge. Kwame Appiah-Bediako is chairman of the association.
There can be any simple means. We are not talking about maybe it is not possible for them to do anything for us.
Only simplified.
Simplified. Simple means. Okay, you've done that for you, done that for you. All you need is come and pay this and take your paper. Mm-hmm. And that the person who is standing in for the TIDD, for the Forestry Commission, has to make sure that whatever he has done is genuine for the person who is giving it to.
Meanwhile, the timber monitoring team, as part of efforts to transform the timber industry, has visited the Sokoban Wood Village to address such concerns. The team further toured the market, witnessing the off-cuts that dominate the industry. Director of the team, Alhaji Mohammed Doku, explains the concerns will be put in a report for consideration.
I'm going to put up a report and submit to the Honorable Minister to consider taking a second look with the Forestry Commission on this particular issue. Because the very moment we ask them to stop the off-cut, it will go waste in the first place. And over 1 million mouths are going to lose their daily bread, which I don't think will go well for the economy of this country.
For JoyNews, Nana Agyeman reporting.
Yo, Green, you no go job. You look unhappy and seem to be in pain.
I have this long-standing well at my anus and it keeps coming and going. I feel sick and so uncomfortable, bro.
Have you taken into consideration going to the hospital?
I've been to several hospitals and they keep telling me the same thing. They said it's anal fistula. I have to undergo a surgery. I'm scared I might not be able to hold my stool if I do this surgery.
Wait, have you considered seeing a proctologist?
Which one is that? What, do we have proctologists in Ghana here?
Bro, we have a lot of them. They are being trained every time.
Where can I?
An anal fistula is an abnormal tract which connects the inner part of the anus to the skin around the anus. As long as this tract persists, there will be a recurring boil around the anus. A proctologist is the one credited with excellent outcomes of surgery of anal fistula. Laser and ligature anal fistula surgeries are the modern methods with very low recurrence rates.
Visit Mwintiba Hospital and Coloproctology Center today or call us
Seeing the Prentex fabric, I like the color, texture. I chose this design that suits my body type. It means a lot to me to look good in clothes that I wear. I don't care about nobody's opinion.
Prentex. For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
People look in envy at Rwanda, Malaysia, and Singapore. What it took to get them where they are we prepared to do that? Singapore still has corporal punishment, but all the human rights lawyers are in Ghana, though.
When Akufo-Addo was in power, you know how we hold in neck. But there is a new political party in power, a new sheriff in town. I will not be boxed into submission.
No matter how much money you give to a poor mind, they will go back broke.
If I have to sleep with somebody for my rent, sleep with somebody to get a car, sleep with somebody who's going to give me the dress, are you not tired?
Neutrality about journalism is a fallacy. You cannot be a football fanatic and say that you are neither Kotoko or Hearts.
Your mom is in the kitchen and you're like, I have rehearsal, so you won't help mommy cook. We're going to have an audacious sister who doesn't know how to cook.
Wow.
Talk, no, they cook rice.
And when do children go to school and when don't children go to school? Yeah, bomba. It's the same Columbia classes.
You don't always have to win when it comes to pageants or competitions.
You don't always have to win.
You don't always have to
but
win.
You entered because you wanted to
Exactly.
When I find somebody saying, my boss didn't like me, that's why I left. It's weird because we are constantly looking for very competent workers and we don't want them to leave.
Where do you get this love to give?
That's a very deep one.
For some of us, we don't have anybody to confide in. So the next person is the wrong person.
No matter how we feel like we are superstars or we're artists, we're human. I will never be able to please everybody.
My dad left when I was a little younger, but of course, to work for us.
Mine abandoned my mom. Yeah. I was not even 1 year old when this happened. So the only image of him I have is a picture.
I opened the door to his room. And the man that I've been eating with, the man I've been dancing with, he was lying on a stretcher.
Imagine a family without a home. Imagine a song without a voice. Imagine a church without prayers. Imagine a government without citizens. Imagine democracy without journalists. Imagine a world without the media. Life is full of issues and stories about people, communities, and governments. Stories that have to be told by well-trained journalists. That's why you can't imagine news without JoyNews.
welcome to Prime Sports with me, Daniel Cranting. The Ghana Premier League, Aduana FC secured a dramatic 2-1 victory over BBNA Gold Stars at the Nana Agyeman-Rawlings Park in match week 29 of the league. After a tightly contested first half, Benjamin Chivanyo broke the deadlock in the 62nd minute with a composed finish from a well-worked move. BBNA Gold Stars responded with determination, with Razak Sanu equalizing in the 77th minute to cap off a strong spell from the visitors. Just as the game looked set to end in a draw, a late drama unfolded in stoppage time. Awuni was brought down in the box, and Aduana were awarded a penalty kick, which was calmly converted to seal the win. The result lifts Aduana to 4th place with 45 points, while BBNA Gold Stars remain top of the table with 51 points, just 2 points ahead of 2nd place, Midiama. Let's look at the fixtures for the weekend. That is match week 29 of the Ghana Premier League. It starts off obviously with Aduana getting that all-important win against BBNA Gold Stars, which blows open the title race. Vision FC will take on Hearts of Oak at home. Dreams FC will host 11 Wonders. Hoho United will be at home against Bechim United. Karela will take on Heart of Lions. Midiama face Asante Kotoko, and a win for Midiama will send them top of the Ghana Premier League table. Nations FC will play host to Holy Stars. Samatex will come up against Brekum Chelsea, and Young Apostles will play host to All Blacks. Now moving on, Asante Kotoko interim head coach Prince Owusu says his side is determined to respond strongly after a disappointing home defeat to Samatex last time around. Meanwhile, Midiama head coach Ibrahim Tanko is confident his boys will deepen the wounds of their opponents.
It's always a big game, not only because of the name Kotoko, but because of where we are in the league now. And every game is very important. And we are playing home. We want to control the game. We want to win. Definitely, we want to keep our 3 points here. It's not going to be easy, but like I said, we trained very good this weekend, and I hope that the boys will make it happen. Kotoko. Big team like Kotoko, we play House of Oak, we play BBNA Gold Stars, we play all the big names, and the defenders did very well. I don't think this is different to them. I mean, they are all experienced. We have Yusuf and Jacob, Fatau, and Oseya, who are all very experienced in the league. So definitely it's going to be very exciting to see them against this strike.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very tough game. So we are preparing very well, try to put things in place. We're coming back from our loss against Samatex. We try to get ourselves back in shape and then go and face them up. I think they have a very good team, so we also know how we want to go there and disgrace ourselves. Make sure we go there to win the game as well. Yeah, I know in life things happen. When it happens, you don't have to let it keep you down. As your question goes, I've spoke to them. We had a meeting yesterday about it, and the boys are ready to fight back and make sure they bring some life into their supporters.
Now, Administrator of the National Sports Fund, Dr. David Waku, has called on President John Mahama and other key stakeholders to take decisive leadership of the initiative. He strongly believes the government involvement will ensure the full implementation of the fund and play a vital role in transforming the landscape of sports in Ghana.
In other jurisdictions that you see, even close to us, like Morocco, Kenya, South Africa, some of these countries, the success story you hear in their sports arena today is because of a bold decision like this. It is clear to see that in these places, the first demonstration of a successful sport fund must come from the top. It is not from the down.
I see. Central leadership.
Central leadership.
Great.
Or a key leader must drive the initiative. Oh. It is seen clearly from Morocco. You see the king.
Where the king, yeah.
And led it. Make sure this is done.
Doc, is interesting.
So for me, if there's any plea I will do today, is that central power drive. The leadership, either from the private sector, the central government, or the president, must lead this sports farm. If you want to see it very successful, I want that power. I want that strength, that force to take off and make sure we are going to change the face of. So I think this platform, we are using it once again to appeal the powers that be to make sure this institution succeed. And financing sport, as the law stipulates, that the mandate is to sustainably finance sport and sport for development. For sport and sport for development. So you are not just supporting a cause, a World Cup, or one elite person and leave it there. Like
that it must affect the economy. It must be that we have to start recording numbers.
Must be seen so that in few years to come, the contribution of sport to our GDP must be clearly seen
and measured.
For everybody to see that whatever we are starting today, this year, this law has taken effect from December last year, must bring that reality, what contribution, the volume of inflows, the volume of development, job creation, talent development, and seeing young people taking a profession as a sportsman, as a sportswoman. We are not leaving anybody on the ground. One key thing that the president caution us and push more is the grassroots sport development. If you go down to see what happens at some of these venues, it's seriously calling for a concern. So we need that strong leadership. And the good news is, you see, most of the places that president will speak will make a call from corporate Ghana and other institutions to support, to build this. That is a good gesture, and I will pray and plead that it continues like that. And everybody must be put online so that we see ourselves. In the next 2-3 years, the face of sports should change.
Our Minister for Sports and Recreation, Akufo-Addo, he has endorsed the sole traveling tours as a preferred option for Ghanaians planning to attend the FIFA World Cup. The endorsement follows a review of proposals submitted by several travel agencies invited by the ministry to present their official travel packages.
The Ministry of Sports and Recreation have taken the trouble and requested for travel and tour companies that have expressed interest to submit their documentation. We've analyzed these documents, we've gone through them, and all those who do not have the appropriate documents have been sieved out. Soul Travel and Tour was one of the companies that scored the highest marks ever.
Wow, a round of applause for BP Soul.
In all fronts, and that explains why I'm so very confident to be here, because everything they presented was correct. Every indication, all their programming, everything that they've done, we've done checks to realize that everything is in order. So be assured that when you are arranging your travel to the Americas, in other words, the US of A, Canada, and Mexico, as far as the FIFA World Cup is concerned, through Soul Travel and Tour, you are assured of good delivery.
A round of applause for BP Soul, please.
They are among the travel and tour companies that have really done well and have scored very high points. And so Ghanaians should be assured that the travel and tour companies that we will be announcing are all credible and they will do the right job for them. Don't go giving money to any connection man who will say that, oh, I know the sports minister, I know the chief director, I know the foreign affairs minister, oh, I know the deputy finance minister who is the chair of fundraising committee, or I know this person. Just look for the travel and tour companies. And one of them that I will recommend to you is the Soul Travel and Tour Company. look for them, and then make sure that they arrange your processes for you and everything will be in order.
How rigorous was the process in terms of giving out the accreditation to these travel and tour companies?
I wish you ask the companies themselves to tell you what they went through and not me saying it. Because it started first by we advertising, going through all the processes. And they brought the document. The document was first analyzed in our office, generally to tick that everything is okay. After ticking, we took the trouble to follow up to the agencies that issue or that are supposed to be issuing those licenses or certificates to find out whether truly this person is up to tax or they have had even any issue with a particular company. And they'll tell you for some, yes, this one we had issues with them, and later on they got it corrected and so on and so forth. We take and then put a minus sign there. Then at the end of the day, we total all the points. That's why I'm saying from the briefing that I had from all my people and all the levels that the various companies went through, not a single issue, not a single follow-up did they have to do for solo travel and tour company, because everything was okay. The cross-checking came green for all of them.
Now the Premier League returns this weekend, in fact starting now on Friday. West Ham are currently beating Wolves by 4-0 at home. Other fixtures to look out for this weekend as follows. Obviously, as I said, West Ham leading 4-0 at home against Wolves. Arsenal will take on Bournemouth in tomorrow's early kickoff game. Then Brentford will play host to Everton. Burnley welcome Brighton. Crystal Palace will be at home against Newcastle United. Nottingham Forest in a very important relegation game against Aston Villa. Liverpool will host Fulham. Sunderland will take on Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday. Chelsea will play host to Manchester City. And then on Monday night, Manchester United will welcome Leeds United to Old Trafford. Let's listen to Chelsea head coach Liam Rosinia and Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola, who have both been speaking ahead of their clash on Sunday at Stamford Bridge.
In terms of any others, Trevor's working really hard. He's back on pitch. Levi's full training, but he still needs to overcome some hurdles in terms of selection. Reece has been running today, which is great. But no, I've got a good squad and we're ready to go and take on Man City.
So it sounds like all those three maybe not quite...
They're not ready for Man City. Of course, I spoke to Calony when I first joined the club. I was actually watching that game in an airport on a plane ready to come here to talk to the club. I thought their performance, especially in the second half, was outstanding. Obviously, we know what a fantastic team Manchester City are, full of world-class players, an unbelievable coach, but we know if we put our game together, we get the game plan right, the mentality right, we can cause them problems.
And you said before that Pep's been a big influence on your coaching career, even maybe a bit of an idol and a hero of yours, but there'll be none of that once the whistle blows.
No, huge respect. You can have respect. I don't have a big enough ego to not respect people. I think Pep's influenced everyone in football. He's influenced the game and he's an unbelievable coach. He's had an unbelievable career. But no, I want my team to show what we're capable of on Sunday.
Hopefully we can do a lot of points. It's at the situation that we are in the Premier League, so we need to do all of them. Otherwise we'll not give us a chance to try it until the end. So we need to do a lot of points. We were not consistent enough during the season. We dropped points that we should take it, and that's why we're in the position that now we cannot do it differently.
Hi, Pep. Just on that, does April bring anything more out of you? Do you feel more excitement when this time of the year comes around in the season?
No, I have a lot of yellow cards. That means how excited I am. So no, not just for April. During the season, I had a good energy. I have still good energy.
And Arsenal are top play in the early kickoff tomorrow. In this time of the season, does playing before another team who's challenging make any difference?
We have to do our games. So playing before or later now remaining few games for the Premier League, so you have to win every single game.
Spanish La Liga also continues this weekend. Real Madrid are currently in action against Girona. It's 1-1 in that game. Other fixtures we'll see tomorrow. Real Sociedad will be at home against Alaves. Elche will host Valencia. Barcelona, if that Real Madrid game ends in a draw, Barcelona will have a chance to extend that gap at the top in a Barcelona derby against Espanyol. Sevilla will be at home against Atletico Madrid. Osasuna will play host to Real Betis. Mallorca will host Rayo Vallecano. Celta Vigo will be up against Real Oviedo. Then Athletic Club Bilbao will take on Villarreal. And then Levante will close out the action at home against Getafe. For Prime Sports with me, Daniel Kranting. Thanks for your time.
From humble beginnings in Abusokai to commanding global stages.
So we were selling aluminium and copper. I'm not sure whether you know Coliba and all that. I mean, we sort of bring them together and then crush it and then go and sell. And this is how we're surviving.
A young boy who once preached in buses from Odoko to Kaneshi. Today, as CEO of Exodus Communications Limited, he is the force behind some of Ghana's most influential platforms.
In fact, they promised me that we can raise $4 million. That day when I have formula to my wife, when I come back, store like 5. Maybe store no more. Charlie, this matter.
The prestigious 40 Under 40 Awards, now spanning Ghana, South Africa, the United Kingdom, and globally. He's also behind major industry platforms, including the Ghana Manufacturing Awards, Ghana Insurance Awards, and Ghana Oil and Gas Awards, celebrating excellence and elevating African brilliance onto the world stage.
Was that the dance that got you an A?
Bam, bam, bim, bim, baba. It's called a Damba dance.
Damba dance.
Yeah, because
this Friday on PM Personality Profile, we sit down with a man behind the movement.
Everything has a meaning. For every story, there are many versions of what is true.
What we need to do is guarantee that kids will get an education. Go to Finland, go to everywhere else. The state does not pay for people to go to boarding schools.
Every opinion can be debated. The political construct of the national interest can be interrogated, but some facts are hidden in the depths of interpretation.
The cost of the land at Temple Residential, which government has just bought for them, but they are waiting for the construction of the ambassador's residence. You need to add that as well. The relocation of the judges, the cost of the construction of a permanent bungalow, then passport office. It costs us 10 million Ghana cedis to relocate the passport office. So why is government not coming clean?
So we check the facts, raise the standards of intellectual discourse, and present the issues on the altar of unbiased scrutiny. This altar is Newsfile, your most authoritative news analysis program.
We must practice independent, credible, and fearless journalism.
Newsfile with Samson Ladia Yenini.
Fistula is an abnormal connection between two organs. We are talking about communication or hole created between the uterus and the bladder, or the uterus and the rectum, or sometimes both.
Welcome to Consulting Room 5, only on JoyNews.
I sorry say me call na me kobo mama nia. O si o we dey de kitikiti metimi ayama. Nso so na ntisa obenuma do na numa obenum oil anonti oil dey ma num bi papa ene gari.
Consulting Room 5 airs on the Joy News channel on Saturdays at 3 p.m. and on Sundays at 6 p.m.
So what can be done? Prevention is very important. So if we can minimize teenage pregnancy, one other problem is also the female genital mutilation.
Okay.
Because it causes scarring of the place. The baby can go through the pelvis, but then the place is scarred and cannot come through the vagina.
was born in 1999, so for most of my life, the Ghanaian currency has looked just like this. But before these designs, our trade system went through many transformations, from the days of barter trade to using pounds, shillings, and eventually cedis and pesos. Each stage tells a story of our nation's journey. On our Ghana Man series today, I'm here at the Artists Alliance Gallery to explore the evolution of our money. What changed? Why? And how has it shaped our economy? Come with me.
Money, they say, makes the world go round, but it also tells a story of independence, leadership, and identity. Today, I take a step back in time to explore the people behind our city. I have come to meet Miodoy Glover. He is the general manager at the Artists Alliance Gallery. He'll be walking me through the evolution of Ghana's currency.
So we have most of the old currencies here, as far as that of the pound to the present stage. Yes. We have that of the pound here. Immediately, we took over from the British. We changed to the Ghana cedi, which has Kwame Nkrumah's head on it.
This is the first cedi.
That is the Kwame Nkrumah cedi. This money was used whilst Kwame Nkrumah was in power.
But Nkrumah's presence on our currency was short-lived. After his overthrow in 1966, his image was removed, reflecting political shifts and historical rewriting.
Immediately he was throned, we stopped using it, and we started moving into other currencies. Yes, we term this money Kwasianity, that's all. So you can understand how, when we overthrew Kwame Nkrumah, how we felt about him, to even describe his head on our money as Kwasianity, that's all.
First president of Ghana.
The first president of Ghana.
I thought we loved him so much because of the good things he did.
Yes, we did. But when he was overthrown, most of the stories that was told about him, about Kankan, Nyame, how he was using our children's blood and all those things. So there was that intention of finishing him, destroying him with all that he's done. So I remember when we were young, this money had that description. Hence, we stopped using it. And we have to move on to other currencies.
Woman and activist who helped finance Ghana's independence.